All right, here's another disc golf tip for you guys. I was watching some pros in slow motion. I was watching them drive. I was watching Nate Sexton. I was watching Paul McBeth, Ricky Wasaki, Eagle McMahon, some people that are on fire these days, Paige Pierce, Kona Panis, several others. I was watching them in slow motion, watching how they do their drives. And one thing that I noticed that they all do is they all have great rotation in their mid-back. Except for maybe Nate Sexton. He's probably got the worst posture of the bunch, but no need to call him out too much here. Maybe that's why he does a forehand. Maybe that's why that's his prime moves, because his poor posture kind of prevents him from getting that rotation in the mid-back, the upper back here, so that he can have that good follow-through and have that excellent drive. And so here's what I'm noticing is as they drive, they plant forward with their foot maybe neutral, maybe back a little bit, but their hips turn backwards as they're getting their follow through here. My form's not gonna be perfect here, by the way, but one thing I noticed, their hips turn backward, and as they're driving, they're keeping this as a single unit as they're coming through. Now, I talked about that a little bit in my low back video, but our low back does not like torsion. It doesn't like twisting and laterally bending. You know, a lot of people, they get their back pain when they're digging or twisting or lifting something up or picking up their kids and moving them over here or putting them in the car seat, whatever it might be. But with the mid back, we want to have good rotation. Those segments, those spinal segments, the joints are set up in such a way that they actually are more meant for rotation, more so than our low back. And so when we're doing our follow through, we can have that rotation in our upper back while bringing our hips around so that we don't have that torsion on our low back causing that low back pain. Here's a couple of exercises that I do to keep my low back nice and healthy here. I'll bring this down. There we go. So one of the things that we can do, first of all here, is just doing simple spinal rotations. I've done these before. You know what these are. And we're just creating some motion in the mid-back. We're encouraging that rotational movement, and we're encouraging all of those muscles to engage. We have over 200 muscles in our spine alone. That's an average of about 7 to 8 different muscles per vertebra between each vertebra. So there's about 16 muscles per vertebra on average. So we just gain that rotation here, activating those muscles, increasing that lubrication between the joints of our mid-back, which feels really good, which gets our body warmed up. Another thing that you can do to kind of stretch out your low back, maybe on days off, I don't really encourage you doing too many stretches before a round, unless you're doing dynamic stretches. Those are wonderful, but just doing static stretches can be kind of a strain on the body. So you can come down like so. I like doing this on the grass, getting some of those free electrons all the way down and just arching the mid-back, getting some extension in there. In the mid-back. I don't really care for getting too much extension in the low back. Sometimes people can get a pinch or get some problems in there. So just right in the mid-back there. Just getting a nice stretch, some nice extension there. And of course, coming around to the front and doing crunches this way. Just to get that mid-back warmed up, going from flexion to extension. Of course, you can do like in yoga, here on all fours, and drop down here, extending and arching here. Getting a full stretch, a full range of motion in that spine, extending and flexing. Those are some great tips. Sometimes people use a foam roller, like so, and what I do to kind of get my back loosened up. Now, I caution you guys to use this very sparingly. In fact, maybe don't use this in a routine if you have any kind of problems. But this can help loosen up the mid-back a little bit. And if you're gonna do it, just do it maybe one pass and see how your body does. If you have lack of coordination or some kind of weakness anywhere in your spine, that can create an issue for that. So coming down here, crossing the arms, and just rolling here, and maybe relaxing backwards to stretch that out. See, oftentimes, a lot of people have bad posture just because they cannot have good posture. because their spine is so stuck and so fixated in a flexed position for so long that it actually is uncomfortable for them to sit up straight. It causes pain, it causes discomfort. The joints have become degenerated or have changed over time. So there's a few tips for you. I hope that helps. And of course, you know, another thing that's super important is the neck. If the neck has a problem, then there's a strong likelihood that there's going to be problems down below. Lack of coordination, some kind of instability, your body's just not moving the way that you would like it to. The neck is very important. I mean, when we take care of the neck properly, we can have all types of things change in our body in a real positive way. Anyway, there's a few tips for you. I hope that helps, and good luck on your next round, and I'll see you in the future. Bye-bye.